Hello there, welcome to 3Spoonies. We're your hosts, Karen, Claire, and Joe. This is episode number 17, and we're discussing navigating the holidays with a disability. Join us as we dive in.
Three Spoonies is sponsored by Grow Radio. Grow Radio is an online radio station dedicated to bringing you a different podcast on the hour, every hour. We are proud that Three Spoonies is played on Grow Radio and to be part of their podcasting community. If you want to listen to the station, explore their shows, check out their many blogs, workshops, or videos to improve your podcasting skills, head over to growradio.uk today.
Hello, I'm Karen from Pony Pony Pony.
I'm Claire from Sparkle's Gift Boutique.
And I'm Joe from Bright Cat Business Solutions.
We are 3Spoonies navigating our way through life and business with not enough spoons. Today we're going to talk about navigating holidays with a disability. It can be quite the kerfuffle.
It can, especially if you have to travel. And we've discussed travel before and how that can be a whole minefield, and especially if you're on public transport. So that's often the first challenge of navigating the holidays with a disability.
Yes. I mean, I learned just by going to Turkey last month and travelled the day beforehand to stay at the hotel. That was okay. But the flights, obviously, you forget, you swell a lot. I swell so much when I travel, so much so that we got to the hotel and it was like, oh, I can't bend my toes. And so I dealt with that for nearly 2 weeks. And then obviously flying back and coming home, it took about another 2 weeks for it to go down. So much as managing your pain and everything else, it's managing the side effects of having chronic pain issues.
Yeah, it's things you don't think about necessarily unless you travel a lot, even if it's relatively short distance or you are going to be in a car. Like maybe you do need compression socks or heat pads, cool pads, things like that, just to make it a bit more manageable, especially because often when you get there, it can be straight into a party or your auntie's here or something's happening. So there's not necessarily that time afterwards to get yourself together, especially if you are staying with sort of family and friends and they're pleased to see you and you might just want to crawl up into the corner for a few hours and they may not understand that. So it's balancing act sometimes, isn't it?
Oh,
It is.
really is. It's just kind of learning to kind of. That's why I think I try and travel everywhere before I go to something, so that I've got the time to decompress and just be like and relax and not. Yeah, just have that time to myself as well. Because traveling can be a lot.
Yeah. And also sometimes it's making expectations clear that it might be that someone's not seen you for a while, and sometimes letting people know what you need, what's going to be helpful, or just updating like, actually, this is a bit of an issue now. It wasn't before. And, it might be that you used to go hiking all the time and now that's not a possibility, but people might not know, and you don't have to tell everyone, obviously, but if someone is hosting an event, just let them know what you need, whether that's I now can't eat this or I might just need a few minutes to decompress.
Some people might not understand the condition either. So yeah, just letting them know what they need, what you need. Even if you're not telling them why, just this is what I need, it's a non-negotiable, will really help.
Yeah, and once you get used to telling people, it's like you need that there. Because I remember the first time I was like, I need this. I need a bit of space for this, and even just down to kind of like where I had to change my diet and stuff because of how everything affects me. You feel a bit awkward, kind of being like you feel like you're making a big fuss out of it and being like, oh, I need this, and I definitely didn't always ask or say what I needed. Whereas now I'm just like, sorry, I need this, and it's gonna have to be.
I think a lot of people are like that, especially because it's family. Therefore, you're just expected to do what you do and integrate, and everything's fine. But it's not. You need accommodations, even though it's family. Sometimes, especially because it's family, especially if there's any big gatherings. Now, I don't know about you, but I get overwhelmed by that kind of thing. Thankfully, I say thankfully. These days, I don't have a big family, so mostly it's quite quiet. But even then, because of traveling and then talking to like my mum, even that can get overwhelming because I get tired very easily. I do have now have compression socks for traveling because my legs are usually a problem and get muscle spasming. But yeah, just saying I just need some space where I can go and not be overwhelmed by everything, too much noise, too many smells, too many people. I think it's something that like most people need, especially anybody disabled or neurospicy in any way.
Mm. And that can be the same as well if people are coming to stay with you, which can in some ways seem like an easier option because you've not got to travel. But then, as you said, saying to people, right, what time are you going to be there? Like, I know some people who would go, oh, the afternoon or evening or something like that. And then they'll turn up in the morning and it's like, what? This is not what you said.
Or they're hours late and therefore you might be pacing. Because
that's the thing. If you've got in your mind that something's going to happen at a certain point and it doesn't, that can throw you a bit. And it could be like someone's stuck in traffic and they're not available, like they can't use their phone because they're driving or whatever, and things happen. But if people can update you when they can, let you know what's happening, things like that. Or I've certainly known people who've turned up with an unexpected guest and it's like, oh, you're sleeping on a bookshelf because there's no room for you. I didn't know you were coming.
Also, on another topic, if you're bringing gifts to somewhere, because it's that kind of holiday, as it often is this time of year, make sure it's something you can actually carry and move between. Like, even if you're in a car, it could still be difficult. And also, if you can't afford it, don't. People will understand. Being disabled costs a lot more money than not being disabled. And I know some of us are on a tight budget. So keep those two things in mind.
And also packing, and if you are taking things, I usually take a wheelie suitcase, and I always find that things that went in it perfectly on the way there don't fit on the way back. Like everything magically expands, and in my mind I go, oh, there'll be more room because there's no presents anymore. And it hadn't occurred to me that I might get presents too and they might take up space. Yeah,
I've done that.
Making accommodation for that is probably sensible, even if it's a spare backpack or something. Then if that's possible, that might be a solution to save yourself, I don't know, lugging 7 carrier bags through St Pancras and New Year's Eve.
It sounds like that's a memory for you, Karen.
Not a happy one.
Oh no, it wouldn't be happy. This is why we need bigger suitcases when we travel.
Yeah, but bigger suitcase means heavier suitcase.
True.
And even if it's on wheels, at some point you've got to pick it up.
Yeah, it's that part where you've got to lift it still and you're just like, oh.
I mean, I have started taking it anytime the words farm shop is mentioned when I visit mum. I do take an extra backpack with me.
That's because you know you'll come back with all the goodies you can.
Yes, yeah. But I have been the person with like all the carrier bags. I ended up getting a lift partway down and then a taxi home because I couldn't get on a train.
That is understandable. And speaking of bags full of loveliness, it's time for spoons full of loveliness. Loads of great things from our sponsors.
Attention, all small business owners. Are you ready to elevate your marketing game? Meet Escape the Village, your virtual marketing department based in the heart of Wiltshire and with national coverage. With over 30 years of experience, our founder Liz Graney and her expert team specialise in crafting tailored marketing strategies just for you. From a new website and SEO optimisation to content planning and social media management, we have everything you need to grow your business. Whether you're in the rural, equine or agricultural sector, we understand your unique challenges and are here to support you. Plus, we offer free marketing mini-audits and exclusive membership options for charities. So, why wait? Visit escapethevillage.com today and let us help you escape the ordinary. SH Policy Support, helping small businesses and sole traders create and refine the policies and procedures they need to thrive. Whether you're looking to streamline your operations, ensure compliance, or build a strong foundation for growth, SH Policy Support offers the consultancy and tailored guidance that fits your unique needs. From startups to established businesses, they'll work closely with you to develop clear, effective strategies that make a real impact. Ready to take your business to the next level? Visit shpolicysupport.co.uk to get started today.
So, we kind of mentioned it earlier, but food. So, food can be a huge issue, whether it's dietary needs, whether it's having to take meds with alongside thing, or I know for some people, food can be a massive trigger, especially if it's things that are out of your control, or if you've got people who might say, oh, go on, just have a little bit, won't hurt. And that can all be pressure. So, how do you both deal with that?
If we're going somewhere that's like, we had it at the start of the year, we went for a meal for my sister's 30th. And thankfully, she also, because the dietary stuff is gluten free. So she was actually really good and found a restaurant that kind of catered for everything she needed. So she was like, here's the menu. She's like, Dylan gets a different menu because where he's autistic and only eats certain food, he doesn't have to have the set meal. And she's like, because I need it, there's also here's the gluten free menu. And it was a really good one because I
Mm.
hate it when you research a restaurant or somewhere and you're like, oh, right, what have they got that's gluten free? And you've got like 3 items and chips. And it's just like, I don't want chips for my dinner. Really not a fan. So yeah, for me, I will research restaurants as much as I can. And if possible, and I know I'm going somewhere, I have been cheeky before, phone them up and be like, would you be able to kind of cater this meal but for gluten free instead, even if it means I bring my own pasta so that I can have pasta? Because that's what I miss the most, I think. Pizza, when you go out for a nice meal and it's like a bit of pizza or pasta, proper cut fresh.
Mm.
And I don't want the same meals all the time. It gets boring. And then you don't enjoy it.
I am the worst one for this because I am somewhat lactose intolerant and I'm diabetic. I spend all of things like Christmas eating pastry, all the sugary foods, all the dairy foods, and then I feel like crap for a few weeks afterwards. Don't do what I do. Keep into your make note of your dietary needs. You actually do something about them. I am terrible for this. I mean, if I'm going out for a nice restaurant as well, I'll eat what I want and I'll deal with the fallout later.
It depends on that because see, if I'm now at home at Christmas, I'm just like, so Boxing Day, it's like all the leftover meat and cheese. I love
I
cheese,
love
does not love
cheese.
me.
Yeah,
So like I'll get like a proper camembert. I've got like 4 or 5 other cheeses, and I will live on cheese for the day. But I'm not leaving my house. It's fine. It's okay. I'm safe. I don't think I could risk it if I was going out. I feel too
Mm.
scared.
I mean, it can also be talking to people in advance or coming up with a bit of a plan for yourself. So it might be that you might have a relative who will make you eat 15 times your own body weight and then go, oh, well, you've gained weight. And it's like, yeah, since I've been here eating your food, I've probably gained weight, which there may be things you could do to put in place. Maybe if you've got a partner or someone else there where you can walk away for a few minutes if you need to, or someone to back you up if you know there's something that's likely to be an issue. Or sometimes if you go into a party or something, bring along something you know you're okay eating, like no one is going to object to, I bought a nice dip or I bought this or whatever else. And then if you know what's in it, know it's okay, that can take a bit of pressure off, and then you can still take part in things. No one's going to view that as being difficult. That's just a nice thing you did to help that also can help you.
same for alcohol. One of my issues used to be whenever I'd go out with work people and going out Christmas parties, people ask why I'm not drinking. Now, I do drink very occasionally, but it is occasionally, and generally I don't enjoy it. I drink because something tastes nice and I'm out of one. And people find that really weird. So if you are like me or you can't drink for whatever reason, don't let people bully you into it. Be firm and just tell them no, you are enjoying your time without alcohol.
But also, people shouldn't be making you feel pressured with it.
Mm.
No,
I mean, even when we all first met up, I was in pain. I was having a drink because it numbs the pain. It don't do what I do, but that's all I say. But yeah, you had a drink, but then I think you had Pepsis in that first, and then just had one cider.
yeah, that was it.
And but there was no question about forcing you to drink or anything like that. But I know some people do feel pressured to be like, oh, like, well, I should have a drink because I'm being out and social. It's absolutely fine not to. You
Yeah,
don't
I
have to
remember
do it for someone else's.
when we were at school, we were told, oh, if you don't want to drink, just say you're on antibiotics. But you'll still often get that one person who goes, oh, well, actually, you can drink on lots of types of antibiotics. It'll be fine. And I think it's absolutely fine to say, I don't want to.
Yeah,
You don't owe people an explanation. It's if I don't want to eat, I don't know, pepperoni pizza. I don't want to. I don't have to explain why. I'll just say no thanks, and that wouldn't be a problem. So I think we do, as a culture, need to just say, okay, that's fine. We've got some pop, we've got some juice, what do you fancy, rather than making a drama. And a lot of people are pretty good at that, but also I think it's fine to stand your ground and not give an explanation, even if it's something that you think, well, this is perfectly reasonable. That's fine, but you still don't owe it to other people, and other people might have more difficult reason that they again don't owe to other people. So I think getting into the habit of just saying no, it's like I quite like to. Did you the mental health cards which just says I'm don't want to do this thing, non-negotiable? I think there is a place for things like that when you just say no,
No is a
I'd rather
complete
not.
sentence.
Yeah.
yeah. Don't be afraid of the word no.
And I find it's often people you don't see very often, which you often may see at the holidays. Those are the people who are more likely to press you because they may not know why, they may not care, but oh, it's a holiday, you need to either eat this or drink this. And yeah, no is a complete sentence.
Absolutely. And it's also things like timing may go a bit skew. I find over the holidays I go a bit nocturnal. So that generally isn't a problem with the meds I'm on because I can just start taking them later and that's then my day. But it may be things like if you do have a long day and then you go to a party, it may be your meds have run out, that you're in pain, that you're more stressed, less able to cope than usual. And that's often when you find people are saying, well, why not just do this? And often it can be really well-meaning people who are trying to be hospitable, but that doesn't change the fact you feel under pressure. So that can be a whole sort of powder keg of things all occurring at once. So
It's not good. Talking of meds though, if you're traveling somewhere for the holidays or anywhere you're going, take extra just in case you can't get back when you plan to.
mm, and
As
also might be worth talking to your pharmacist about timings because as I said, the ones I take I just have to spread them out through the day, but if you do need to take them at specific times, see if that works, see if there might be a slower release version that can last longer. It might be there isn't, but it's definitely worth asking, is it okay to double up on this? And often your pharmacist will be able to say, well, no, that's not a great idea, but if you combine this and take this a bit later, that can help you through. So it's definitely worth asking because that can just make things considerably more comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a little like toiletry bag. It's not even little, it's a fair size toiletry bag that has all my meds in it. So when I'm going away or if I'm traveling, even if I'm traveling away for a weekend, I always take extra just because I know I might need a top up
yeah,
because how active I'm going to be or even just being social. Like you don't have to be out walking around all the time, but just sitting there and being in people's company 24/7 and talking, it can be just absolutely draining.
it can and often is. But one Christmas we couldn't get home when we were meant to because the trains weren't running. I can't remember the reason. I don't know if it was the weather or anything. I think it might have been. But so we had to stay an extra night. Thankfully, the hotel we were staying at also had room. But yeah, thankfully I had extra meds on me. Or that could have been bad.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, the reason I have mine and it is such a big bag is because I've been caught out before.
Yeah.
And I learned from then, med bag, they're important.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, sometimes things get lost or things can happen. It was absolute torrential rain and I'd not quite closed my suitcase. There was a tiniest little gap in the zip and all my stuff got soaked. So after that, I do keep some extra meds, like a few that I really need. I'll keep them separately in a handbag or something just in case. And yeah, and if you are going abroad as well, do make sure you've got the prescriptions and everything in the proper cases, which is annoying because it takes up so much more room. But if you're having to explain to someone who's maybe their English isn't great, you don't speak their language terribly well, and you've got a pocket full of opiates, then
Yeah, I find that
yeah.
the last couple of times I went away, I actually forgot to take the actual prescription bits with me and just had my all my meds in my med bag, so they weren't even in boxes. And I always keep it in my hand luggage so that even if my suitcase went missing, still have meds.
Mm.
And they've never been like, "What's all this for?"
Do
and
they just look
questioned
at
it.
it and go, well, you're broken?
They look at it all and they're like, "Yeah, we're not even questioning that one. You go through."
I think it's one of those things, it depends where you are and who's checking, but
I mean,
it's,
to be fair, we because of traveling with Dylan as well, we do go through on the special assistance, so they know that you're probably going
mm.
to have some kind of medication with you at the same time. But it's when how do you guys cope with? Because you're talking about like all the social stuff and like, traveling, but obviously working around the holidays as well. Like, do you find there's certain holidays you guys get busier around or times a year and managing that kind of expectation at the same time?
Yes. I mean, in theory, my work should tail off around Christmas, but it doesn't. But I let my clients know, usually at the end, like if it's Christmas, at the end of the month of November, that I am taking 2 weeks off. These are the dates. If you need something doing, you've got to get it to me by this date, which gives me enough time to do it, even if I'm running behind. And I will work longer hours because I want that 2 week break. The first year I didn't. I just worked through, I did my old stuff, and I missed that break. Really missed it. So even if we're not going anywhere, we're staying at home. I keep that routine.
Yeah, I do the same. I think it can be so easy when you're self-employed to go, oh, I'll just do a bit here, I'll just do a bit there, but then you don't quite switch off. And again, letting clients know that you're not going to respond to emails between these dates because it's so easy to go, oh, I'll just check my email, I'll just do this thing, I'll just do that, I'll just do that. And before you realize the morning's gone. So yeah, I try to keep really clear breaks, let people know in advance. And when I was doing products, I made sure everyone knew the last postage date. And after that, it's like, it was just a no. I know someone who made a fortune on last minute gifts because she charged them a ridiculous amount of delivery, but she would hand deliver it to them. So she'd
Wow.
end up making a load of stuff on Christmas Eve and she'd drive to them, deliver it, charge a fortune, and charge to stay over in a hotel. And people were prepared to pay that. So she's like, yep, I'm going to do that. I think if you've got the energy to do that's great, but that is absolutely not for me. And I'd let people know so far in advance, this is the last date for orders. If you don't get it in, sucks to be you. And because it's so easy to go, oh, I'll just make this exception for this one person, oh, and this one
Yeah, I've done
other.
that.
I,
Yeah, no, I used remember when we first moved house, and it was the first time I'd taken a break over Christmas, and it's only because we moved on the 12th of December, and so I had to close up everything before, so it was like from the end of November, and I was like, right, I'm going to take the time off and actually have a break, get the house sorted, and someone messaged me, I think around about the 20th, 21st, can you make this for me? It's like I haven't even unpacked anything from my office. Like we're still, like, the house is pretty much done, but I was getting everything else done first. And she's like, "Oh, but it's just this," and I was like, "But I don't know where everything is." And I physically can't. But before that, I used to do so many last minute orders. People would be like, "I need it for tomorrow," And I'd sit there and be like, "Oh, you kidding me? Like, what can I do in a day? Less than a day?"
Well,
You know?
that, and is it going to get to them anyway? It's like, so you stress yourself out, so you unpack
Yeah.
everything, you get it all together, you do it, and it's not
They'd be like,
guaranteed it's
when I
going
used
to
to live
arrive.
in London, when I lived in London, they were just like, "Oh, we'll come and pick it up from you," and it was like, and I think that made it easier for me to be like, "Oh yeah, go on, I'll do it." But then it also kind of led to a lot of people being like, "Oh, I need this last minute," and it was stressful. Whereas
So
now I'm really clear with my dates for my deadlines for Christmas, and then from about the 21st, I'm just like, now's my break till the new year. I have a couple of days in between where I work because I start planning a bit of Valentine stuff. But other than that, I take the time off and actually relax and enjoy myself. And it's so nice.
it takes me a few days to switch off because I'm very much all or nothing. And
Yeah.
to switch off, it takes me a few days to get back into it. So yeah, I'm taking like 2 weeks. I don't care if it's an emergency. You should have thought about it beforehand.
Yeah, and also I think we all need to stop encouraging that last minute thing, if only because in terms of budgeting, if you spread out the present buying over a few months, that makes it all a lot more manageable. If you're trying to get everything last minute, you will spend a lot more than you need to because lots of things could be sold out. You may have to pay extra for postage or whatever else. I think um if you can be a bit more organized, spread things out, please do. It really just helps everyone, including yourself.
And you're not feeling like you're spending all your money at once either. Because sometimes if you do all that shopping at last minute, it's just like, crap, where's my money gone?
Yeah, absolutely. But also look into alternative things as well. Like if you find you're spending lots of money you don't have, or your relative are spending lots of money you don't have, maybe look at alternatives. Say, we'll all chuck some money and go out for a meal, or I made some sort of hampers up for some of the families because here's some biscotti and some mango chutney and some bits and bobs so everyone can have something. But if I bought like all my aunts and uncles and cousins presents, I'd need
Or
more than a wheelie suitcase to carry them for a start. I'd need to steal like a couple of trolleys from Tesco's.
Lash them together.
Yeah, it's also okay to say with people, should we just agree to not, or to set a spending thing or a secret Santa type thing where you buy for one person? I mean, it doesn't have to be a cheaper thing necessarily, but if you buy sort of one thoughtful thing rather than 50 things for the sake of it, it's probably going to be better received because there's only so many random pound shop things we all need.
need all the random pound shop things.
Okay, we now know how many pound shop things Claire needs.
All of them.
Oh, it's terrible. I can be like, I'm gonna pop in and just have a browse. And I walk out like 40 quid later and I'm like, but then pound shop's not a pound anymore either, so that annoys me.
That,
There
that
is a
upsets me.
Yeah.
like when you go to IKEA and you're like, how have I spent 80 quid on like bag clips and dime bars and random little bits and bobs? Yeah, it's a whole thing. Impulse control.
What's that?
We have none.
No, but also I think the thing you have to remember is to actually make it so you can enjoy yourself, enjoy people's company. And if that means maybe leaving a bit earlier when you're still enjoying it, then look into that or set that up in advance. If there's going to be a full day thing, you can't deal with a full day thing. If you say, oh, can I come a bit later? Or can I do this? Or if you need to take a nap in the middle of the day or
I
whatever
do.
else. Yeah, don't struggle through and then you're miserable and then everyone else is like, oh, well, why they been so miserable? And it's if you're in pain and you're tired and you're having a bit of a wobble, those are all things that don't make for a happy fun time.
No, you can walk away at that point. Please walk away before that so you can look after yourself.
Yeah. Or if it comes to it, just say I'm feeling a bit worn out, things like that. I mean, if you can do it in advance, that's fine. And it may be you don't actually need to once you're there, because I know with events and stuff, I'll almost dread it on the way up to it. And then once I'm there, I'll actually really enjoy myself often. So it might be I say, oh, I might have to leave early, and then I actually don't. Like people generally won't mind that. It's just putting the idea into people's head that it might be a thing. And also for you to say, well, I've said this, I've been open. People generally understand things like that.
Yeah, I think that the main thing to remember is self-care,
Yeah,
always, especially like in such high stress times.
yeah, because the stress and the anxiety and the overwhelm of it can make your brain worse as well, and
Mm.
it's also emotionally and mentally draining. So self-care is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. And it might be taking some extra items with you or just planning for not necessarily worst case scenarios as such, but what could potentially be an issue, what might go wrong, what might you need to put in place, what would make you feel better. And if that's Big Ted's coming with you, do you know what? Pack Big Ted. Absolutely, 100%. Whatever you need, get it there, make sure it's there just in case. And that could be something else. That could be a aromatherapy roll on you've got. It could be some extra medication in case your tongue gets a bit wobbly, things like that. If it's going to help you, absolutely don't be apologizing for that. And just have it there, even if you don't need it, because it can help put your mind at rest as well to know that if that does happen, you're okay and you've got it covered. Anyone got any last minute tips?
I think mine was self-care always.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm just going to echo Joe's. Self-care is important.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't be running around taking care of everyone else if you're exhausted and overwhelmed and sick. No one needs that. That is not the meaning of Christmas or any other festival.
Oh, no, I do have one. Don't apologize for setting your boundaries in those
Mm,
stressful
Overwhelm.
times. Yeah,
yeah, that's a very valid point. And sometimes that's what you need to enjoy yourself rather than maybe there's that difficult topic that might pop up. If you know that's not going to happen, you've made it clear that you will not discuss it, that can take a lot of pressure off. And you may find there's other people who say, do you know what? Thank you for bringing that up because that just makes it awkward for everyone. So, yeah, boundaries are good, fun is good, doing what you need to is all a positive. So, thank you for joining us for 3Spoonies on navigating the holidays with a disability. We'd love to know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for our weekly podcasts and leave us a lovely review. You can find us on social media, and we'd love it if you'd join the Business Success Network for Disabled Entrepreneurs Facebook group. You can also buy us a coffee if you like what we do. All links will be in the show notes. We'll see you next week for our community questions. Have a great day and keep track of your spoons.